I once thought that if I was gentle enough, cute enough, soft enough, I'd be loved. I used to believe that if I acted just right, said safe things, kept myself within everyone else's comfort zone, I wouldn't be hated. And so I started learning how to please everyone. I watched people to figure out what they expected from me. I changed how I talked, how I dressed, even how I laughed, just enough. Not too much, not different, not standing out. I did that for a long time, so long that I forgot who I really was. I picked colors other people liked. I agreed with opinions I didn't really believe in. I laughed when they laughed, stayed quiet when the mood called for silence. I turned into a version of myself that everyone would meet and say, "You're so nice." But inside, I was slowly emptying out. Because even when I got compliments, I didn't feel happy. Even when I was liked, I still felt like I was just performing. I don't remember the last time I said what I really thought. I don't know what I truly like anymore. Everything I did was calculated. What will people think? Am I bothering anyone? Will someone judge me? And so, every day, I lived like I was on a stage, with lights shining, an audience watching, and the pressure to play the part right. I thought that was the best way to survive, because everyone wants to be loved, right? Everyone's afraid of being left out. Everyone's scared of looking weird to others. But I didn't realize I was falling in love with a fake image. I was trying so hard to stay likable that I traded away the real parts of myself. I used to like things that were totally different, had thoughts no one else did, had colors that were all my own. But little by little, I let them go. I was afraid that if I was different, people wouldn't like me anymore. And that was my biggest fear back then, being left behind. I chose to step back, shrink myself, blend into the crowd, do everything to stay safe. And then, I started disappearing from my own life, like a blurry shadow, no sharp edges, leaving no mark. Everyone thought I was fine, but no one really knew who I was. Things didn't change because of some big event. It was just a small comment from someone I wasn't even that close to. They said, "You seem different from how you were at first. I thought you were a different kind of person back then." I smiled, like always, but inside I felt empty. I didn't know whether to feel sad or just stay quiet. Because deep down, I knew. They were right. I had changed, not because I'd grown, but because I'd adjusted myself too much. I'd trimmed away the real me to fit other people's gazes. And then I started thinking back. For the first time in a long while, the time I laughed too loud and got called a little tactless. The time I wore something I liked but got teased for being over the top. The time I had my own opinion but people raised their eyebrows. After those moments, I didn't push back. I just pulled myself in a little, bit by bit, until I barely showed my real self anymore. I lived like a neutral version, no color, no flavor, pleasant, but vague. And when I realized that, I felt sad. Not because others didn't understand me, but because I'd rejected myself too many times. I'd said things I didn't believe just to avoid arguments. I'd nodded along to plans I wasn't excited about just to keep the peace. I'd stayed silent when I should have spoken up, because I was afraid people would think I was complicated. I used to think that was maturity, being considerate, living gently. But now I see it was also how I lost myself. I don't know exactly who I am anymore. I look good in everyone's eyes, but in my own I feel strange, blurry, distant. I didn't dare ask myself the real questions because I was scared that if I asked, "What do I like?" I wouldn't have an answer. Scared that if I got honest, I'd have to change. And change, sometimes, hurts. But not changing hurts more. I started writing down simple questions on paper. If no one was watching me today, how would I live differently? If I didn't have to please anyone, what would I pick for breakfast? If I could be honest, what would I say first? Small questions, but they made me realize I'd never really lived for myself. I was just existing as someone everyone found agreeable. But I didn't feel agreeable with myself anymore. I didn't change overnight. I didn't burst out and declare myself. No long status posts, no big announcements. I just started with tiny things. One day I wore a shirt I'd always liked, but had been called weird for. No one complimented it. No one criticized it either, but I felt a quiet joy in my heart. Another day, I turned down a hangout I didn't want, just to stay home and read. I didn't make excuses, I just said it. I don't want to go. I was nervous. I was afraid they'd think I was odd, aloof, hard to approach. But no one reacted harshly. They just accepted it, maybe a little surprised. And I started to see, sometimes I overthink other people's reactions so much that I forget. Being real isn't as scary as I thought. The first time I voiced an opinion against the crowd, my voice still shook. But when I finished, someone smiled. They said, "I thought that too, but didn't dare say it." The first time I shared something I liked, even if it wasn't popular, some stayed quiet. But others asked more, and I got it. Not everyone will agree, not everyone will understand. But when I dared to be real, I started connecting with people who truly clicked with me. I didn't have to force myself to keep up an image anymore. I didn't try to seem deep, mature, or grown up. I was just me, sometimes silly, sometimes serious, sometimes moody. And strangely, I could breathe easier, lighter, even if some people didn't like me. But the difference was, I didn't feel bad about it anymore, because I knew I couldn't please everyone. I wasn't born to fit every gaze. I was born to live as myself, whether people liked it or not. And when I understood that, I stopped fixing myself every day. I didn't ask, "What will people think?" every time I said something. I didn't tweak my words just to make the listener happy. I didn't check someone's expression before laughing out loud. I just was me, with enough kindness, and with edges that aren't perfect. I realized, to live true to my personality, I don't need to be loud, don't need to stand out in a flashy way. I just need to be honest, with myself, in the smallest things. Like when I eat what I love, even if others find it strange. Like when I listen to a song no one knows and still feel moved. Like when I don't laugh just to be polite, but smile because my heart feels warm. Personality isn't about being bold, it's a unique fingerprint, something we all carry. Some people's personalities blaze like fire. Some are quiet like clouds. Some speak up. Some stay silent. Some go against the grain. Some stand on the sidelines. No way is better. No one has to try to be like anyone else. The most important thing is, do you dare to live what you believe? Do you dare to choose what makes your heart beat, even if others think it's odd? Do you dare to keep your own colors, even when the world's all one shade? The day I stopped trying to fit everyone's eyes was the day I felt myself come into focus. Someone said, "You're not as approachable anymore." I smiled, because I knew they couldn't predict me anymore. They didn't see me the same way, but I felt closer to myself than ever. I didn't need agreement to trust my choices. I didn't need permission to live what I felt was right. I knew what made me sad. I knew what brought me back to life. And I lived by that, gently, but enough to feel like I was truly breathing. Someone asked me, "Aren't you afraid of being misunderstood?" Yes, I am. But I'm more afraid of living my whole life with no one knowing who I really am. Not even me. I'd rather be misunderstood than live up to what others think of me. I chose to stop trying to fit, because I wasn't born to make anyone comfortable. I was born to live as myself. Honest enough, gentle enough, strong enough, real enough. And when I live like that, I don't need validation. I just need to look in the mirror and not look away. I just need, when a day ends, to sigh and say, I lived true to myself today. Not perfect, but real. And that's enough.